Aquarius, this week moves like a clean room audit for your life. Close the tabs, clear the cache, rewrite the code that no longer runs on today's OS. If you're honest about what's real, this won't take you down. It'll set you free. This week moves like a clean room audit for your life, Aquarius. You're an air sign with a systems brain, and the sky is asking you to run a full diagnostic across identity, money, communication, home, creativity, health, partnerships, shared resources, beliefs, career, community, and rest. The overall mood is closing tabs, clearing caches, and rewriting the parts of your code that no longer run on today's operating system. The tone leans practical and serious, but not cruel. The mind is fast and sharp, yet a little overheated. The heart wants to be seen, but old applause loops are burning out. The week ends under a blackout reboot that targets shared money, secrets, and trust. If you're honest about what is real, this week doesn't take you down. It sets you free. Let's start with you. The stage light is on your face and you feel it. Rahu, the North Node, amplifies your presence and pulls you to try bolder versions of yourself, while Jupiter points a soft spotlight that says teach, show, explain. That is a powerful combination for brand, voice, and first impressions. It can also make you slippery if you sell more than you can deliver. A friend might call it confidence. A stranger might call it bluff. The difference is receipts. If you've been meaning to update your bio, your headshot, your about me, or your renegotiation lines, do it now. This is also the moment when imposter syndrome either gets louder or leaves the room. The deciding factor is simple. Do you match your story with concrete actions every day? A clever mask will work for a minute. A congruent self will carry you all year. Money and voice are heavy, clear, and sometimes sobering. Saturn is retrograde here and Neptune is retrograde right next to it. That means two things at once. 1. The numbers are strict. 2. The fantasy around money dissolves. Subscriptions you forgot about. Auto renewals you never wanted. A silent bleed of small costs. A delayed payment or a mismatch between your speaking tone and your actual stance. Those come to the surface. The Sun and Mercury, with Mercury exalted but combust, stare straight into this zone from the other side of your chart. That's a test. Contracts and joint accounts that aren't clean get flagged. Tax or insurance issues that were later become now. If you're freelancing, a client may push back on scope, rate, or timelines. If you're salaried, an audit or budget tightening could directly touch your pay or perks. Worst case, a pay cut, a PIP, or a layoff if performance hasn't matched promises and your org is trimming. If you have kept a consistent track record, Saturn favors you with stability. You may still lose a perk, but you keep your base and you keep your credibility. Speak less and mean more. When the disciplinarian runs the money room, clear language is wealth. Communication and skills are under pressure to mature. Mars points at your everyday messages and asks for courage without heat. Pluto and Neptune push from hidden angles. This is where accidental self-sabotage can happen. A late-night post, a spicy DM, an email that reads harsher than you intended, a joke that lands like a knife. Because Mercury is exalted and combust, your mind moves fast and your mouth can outrun your wisdom. If you create content, do a tone pass before you hit publish. If you pitch, keep it tighter than you think. If you're learning, go for substance over swag. Certificates are fine, but evidence of skill is better. Worst case, a post gets called out, a message thread leaks, a colleague forwards a sarcastic comment, a mic'd meeting captures a flippant aside. Best case, you send one clear note that unlocks a bottleneck and earns you trust you can't buy. Home and emotional base are wired to upgrade, but with surprise glitches. Uranus retrograde lives here right now. Unexpected repairs, a router that dies in the middle of a call, appliance quirks, a landlord inspection, noise issues, or a neighbor conflict can pop up. Saturn's pressure and Mars' odd angles add friction. If you're renovating, you may face delays or an extra fee. If you're hunting for a place, a listing could vanish or terms change. Worst case, a water leak, a security issue at the building, a deposit dispute, or a family conflict that drains you for days. If you care for a parent, watch their health this week. Normal complaints can escalate, not because the sky is cruel, but because you must lock in better systems of care. Think practical: backups, passwords, emergency contacts, medication refills, and documents everyone can find. Creativity, romance, and children glow and flicker at once. Jupiter fills this room with ideas and optimism, yet for your chart, it can also overpromise. Brainstorms multiply, reels and posts come easy, and a teaching or mentoring role fits you well. Still, the market is not kind to hype. If you trade, the risk side is real. A quick win can become an expensive lesson in an hour, especially if you break your own rules. If you're dating, attention is easy to attract, but chemistry that looks bright on screen can feel thin in person. If you're parenting, a school note, a deadline, or screen time battles may demand a new rulebook. Worst case, a speculative loss, a shiny project with no buyer, or a romantic reveal that hurts your pride. Best case, a meaningful win in a creative pitch, a speaking invite, or a moment with your kid that makes you proud you did the hard thing. Daily work, health, and the grind want sweeping changes that are actually small. The moon leans your body toward routine resets, and Neptune angles remind you that stimulants and screens are not a health plan. This week is honest about burnout. If you've been running on caffeine and panic, the crash arrives. A back twinge, a headache, a gut reaction, poor sleep, or a minor infection says, slow down. Worst case, a strain that forces time off, an HR issue if conflict goes unmanaged, or a quiet underperformance trail that leadership notices. Best case, you adopt one simple trade: better sleep over an extra hour of work, and your output improves because you stop breaking yourself to look productive. Your body is not the obstacle to your success. Your body is the instrument that plays it. Partnerships and public relations are where the spotlight feels hottest. Venus is here, and so is Ketu, the south node, washing away what is performative and false. Early in the week, you may feel a glow. You are seen. You are chosen. You are asked to lead or to show. But the same light exposes cracks. If you've been smiling while acting resentful, it shows. If your contract has holes, the other side sees them too. If you're married or in a committed relationship, this is a week where either one honest conversation brings you closer, or avoidance tears a bigger hole. For some, separation talks or trial breaks appear. For others, a public scandal near your name needs a calm, prepared response. Worst case, a breakup, a co-founder split, or a contract termination. Best case, you move from public romance to real partnership with clear roles, clear money, and clear care. Shared resources, debts, taxes, inheritances, and intimacy form the core of the week's story. The sun moves into this zone. Mercury is exalted here but combust. A solar eclipse closes the week in the same room. That combination is a truth serum. Expect exposure. Insurance claims that have lingered may get decided. Old tax issues can resurface. A hidden subscription can drain an account. A family inheritance question may turn into a real meeting. Power dynamics in the bedroom or in negotiations show their true face. For some, a secret comes out. A hidden chat, a silent addiction, a private payment, a confidential file accessed, a password shared casually months ago. Data hygiene is not a nice to have this week. It's your shield. Worst case, identity theft, a hacked account, a formal audit, an unwanted pregnancy, a betrayal that forces therapy or legal counsel. Best case, you clean your systems, you name what you haven't named, you and your partner create a simple money and privacy plan, and the eclipse gives you a line between before and after. Beliefs, travel, visas, mentors, and legal matters run hot and complicated. Mars sits here with odd angles to stricter planets, and that means courage meets bureaucracy. You may want to move fast, book flights, sign up for a program, launch an advocacy push, file a case, or publish a strong opinion. Do it with care. A missing form, a regulation update, or a small clause can block your big move. Worst case, a denied visa, a legal notice, a travel delay that ruins plans. A mentor relationship that sours over pride, or public backlash if you speak before you check facts. Best case, a brave pivot, a well-structured application approved in due time, a mentor who challenges you and genuinely upgrades your thinking, a published piece that opens networks you could not enter before. Career and status are foggy, but not lost. Neptune touches your public image and can blur the line between vision and illusion. This is a risk zone for grand plans with no scaffolding. If you're in a visible role, what you say is parsed in unkind ways. Be precise. If you're job hunting, your profile needs to show outcomes, not adjectives. If your company faces cuts, the soft targets are those who oversell and underdeliver. The protected seats are those who produce measurable value, share credit, and absorb feedback. Worst case, a failed launch, a reputational ding, or an exit that stings in the short term but removes you from a culture that was masking rot. Best case, a quiet reframe of your KPIs, a sponsor who advocates for you, or a move into a project that looks less glamorous but gives you actual power. Community, networks, and gains want discipline, not clout. Jupiter smiles from the other side, offering reach and collaboration. Saturn sets the conditions, insisting on delivery. The result is simple. Results first, then exposure. Friends can help you if you make it easy to help you. A single intro or a Slack thread could change your quarter. A sloppy ask could burn a bridge. Worst case, you chase numbers, join a noisy pile-on, or get caught in groupthink that costs you a contract. Best case, you build a small pod of serious peers. You contribute quietly and consistently, and you receive more than you asked for because you didn't treat your network like a vending machine. Solitude, expenses, foreign ties, sleep, and closure play a deep, quiet baseline. Pluto retrograde here is not gentle, but it is honest. You are ending something behind the scenes. An old identity, a draining habit, a hidden expense, or a private resentment. Mars presses, so your sleep can go ragged. Don't panic if dreams turn intense or old memories surface. That's the purge. Worst case, burnout that sends you to the doctor, an emergency expense you could have prevented, or a confidential matter that requires professional help. Best case, a clean cancellation, a simple budget you actually follow, a week of earlier nights that resets your nervous system, a personal retreat or therapy session that shifts a decade of tension in 1 hour. There's also a psychological flavor to the week that matters for you as an Aquarius. You like systems, ideas, and the future. You also care about fairness, community, and independence. This week tests your integrity on all 5. You're asked to be futuristic without fantasy, fair without people-pleasing, communal without clout-chasing, and independent without running from intimacy. The pain points, money pressure, contract friction, a home or parent issue, a health flag, a secret revealed, are not random punishments. They are the exact levers that move you from I look like the future to I live like the future. If that line sounds blunt, it is. Under the eclipse, the sky doesn't want a story. It wants a vow. So here is your clean, practical advice. Keep it minimal and real. If a money leak shows up, plug it the day you see it. If a contract feels vague, write a single page that states exactly who does what, by when, for how much, and how changes are handled. If a partner says they don't feel seen, listen fully once and then show care in a way that is observable, not performative. If a secret breaks, skip the spin and move directly into safety, accountability, and repair. If your body is asking for rest, answer. If your company is tightening, build evidence of value this week. No drama, just proof. If your home shows you a weak spot, fix it before it becomes a story you tell later with a sigh. The hooks that should keep you here are simple. Your face is brighter this week, but your money is stricter. Your words can open doors, but only if they are careful and kind. Your home base wants resilience more than upgrades. Your creativity wants form, not fireworks. Your work wants rest in the plan, not after the crash. Your relationships want truth over theater. Your shared money wants documentation, not vibes. Your beliefs want courage, not noise. Your career wants outcomes, not speeches. Your community wants contribution, not clout. Your solitude wants closure, not escape. Near the end of the week, the lights dim and then return. The eclipse targets shared assets, deep emotions, privacy, and trust. Emotions may wobble. Rest may feel smarter than motion. Resist the urge to fix your life all at once or to doom scroll. The smartest move is one small vow you can keep. You do not need to announce it. You just need to mean it. When the lights come back on, that vow will be the new setting on your inner dashboard. And next week, when the noise rises again, you will have something clean to hold, not a grand plan, not a performance, just a promise that you keep because you are you. Aquarius, Audit Complete. Now choose your vow. If this helped you navigate the reset, tap like, share the one promise you're making this week, and subscribe so you never miss what the sky is whispering to you. Until next time, speak carefully, secure your systems, and remember, receipts over rhetoric.